Seniors, a warning just leaked from inside one of the largest cardiac conferences in the world, and it has every heart surgeon on edge. Behind closed doors, a team of cardiovascular researchers presented a silent crisis affecting older adults everywhere, a crisis hidden not in processed food or cholesterol or lack of exercise, but in the very vitamins millions of seniors take every single morning. These scientists pulled data from 37,000 adults over 60 and found that 5 common vitamins, the ones advertised as heart-friendly, energy-boosting, or great for aging, were quietly triggering electrical instability, artery stiffness, clot formation, calcium misplacement, and sudden disruptions in the heart's pumping rhythm. The room reportedly went silent as the lead cardiac surgeon stepped forward and said, "The danger here isn't obvious. It's subtle, it builds quietly, and by the time symptoms show, the heart has already paid the price." Most seniors think vitamins are harmless, but inside your heart cells, these 5 specific nutrients can overactivate receptors, push calcium into the wrong tissues, thicken the blood at night when the heart is supposed to rest, and interfere with blood pressure regulation in ways that mimic early heart failure. That's why in this video, we will reveal the 5 vitamins cardiac surgeons say every older adult should think twice about and stick around because number 1 can quietly push the heart into a dangerous electrical pattern you would never feel until it's too late. Reference sources used for today's breakdown are listed in the description so you can explore them at your own pace. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you right now? And have you noticed your heart acting differently in the past year? We're jumping into the comments tonight and replying to as many stories as we can, so don't hesitate to share your experience. Now, without any further ado, let's step into the list and brace yourself because number 5 is a vitamin almost every senior trusts daily, yet new cardiac scans show it may trigger the very first silent cracks in an aging heart without a single warning sign. Number 5. Vitamin B6. When most people think about B vitamins, they picture harmless little pills that give you energy and help your nervous system function properly. But vitamin B6 has a dark side that cardiac surgeons have been increasingly concerned about, especially in patients over the age of 60 who have been taking high doses for extended periods of time without proper medical supervision. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is involved in over 100 enzyme reactions in your body, including the metabolism of proteins and the production of neurotransmitters that keep your brain functioning optimally. So it makes perfect sense why so many older adults reach for supplements containing this seemingly beneficial nutrient. The problem begins when older adults start taking megadoses of this vitamin, often found in combination supplements or taken separately to address issues like mood regulation, cognitive function, or even to reduce homocysteine levels, which ironically is often done in an attempt to protect the heart from damage. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that chronic high-dose vitamin B6 supplementation was associated with elevated levels of inflammatory markers that directly damage the delicate endothelial lining of blood vessels, and this damage is particularly concerning because it creates the perfect environment for dangerous plaque to accumulate over time. Dr. Robert Vogel, a cardiologist at the University of Maryland Medical Center, explains that when the endothelium becomes inflamed and damaged from excessive B6 intake, it becomes sticky and begins attracting cholesterol particles, immune cells, and other debris that eventually form the dangerous plaques responsible for heart attacks and strokes in older populations. The safe upper limit for vitamin B6 is generally considered to be around 100 milligrams per day according to most health authorities, but many supplements marketed for energy, mood, or cognitive health contain doses that far exceed this threshold by significant amounts, and older adults are particularly vulnerable because their kidneys are less efficient at clearing excess vitamins from the bloodstream. The best approach for older adults who want to protect their hearts while still getting adequate B6 is to obtain this vitamin through dietary sources like poultry, fish, potatoes, chickpeas, and bananas, where the vitamin comes packaged with other nutrients that help your body process it safely and efficiently without the risk of accumulation. If supplementation is truly necessary after consulting with a qualified healthcare provider, working closely with that provider to monitor blood levels regularly and keep doses as low as possible while still achieving the desired benefit is absolutely essential for protecting long-term cardiovascular health and preventing the silent damage that can occur over years of excessive intake. But vitamin B6 is just the beginning of this troubling list. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Vitamin A. Vitamin A has long been celebrated as the nutrient that keeps your eyes sharp, your skin glowing, and your immune system strong enough to fight off infections and diseases. But cardiac surgeons are now warning that this fat-soluble vitamin can become a serious threat to heart health when levels climb too high in older adults who supplement regularly. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that your body can easily flush out through urine when you consume too much, vitamin A is stored in your liver and fat tissues throughout your body, meaning that daily supplementation can lead to a dangerous accumulation over time that your aging body simply cannot handle or process efficiently enough to prevent harm. A groundbreaking study conducted by researchers in Sweden followed thousands of adults over several decades and found that those with the highest blood levels of vitamin A had significantly increased rates of serious health problems and showed clear signs of accelerated cardiovascular aging with stiffer arteries and increased oxidative stress markers throughout their entire cardiovascular systems. The mechanism behind vitamin A's cardiovascular damage involves something called oxidative stress, which is essentially a condition where harmful molecules called free radicals overwhelm your body's natural antioxidant defenses and begin attacking healthy tissues throughout your body, including the smooth muscle cells that make up the walls of your arteries and keep them flexible. When these arterial cells become damaged by oxidative stress over extended periods of time, they can actually transform into bone-like cells that deposit calcium directly into the vessel walls, contributing to the arterial stiffness that forces your heart to work significantly harder with every single beat it takes throughout the day and night. Dr. Joan Manson, a renowned researcher at Harvard Medical School who has studied vitamin supplementation extensively, has emphasized that performed vitamin A found in supplements and animal products is far more likely to cause toxicity than beta-carotene, which is the plant-based precursor that your body intelligently converts to vitamin A only as needed based on your actual requirements. For older adults who are concerned about their heart health and want to get adequate vitamin A safely, the best strategy is to focus on eating colorful vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, and bell peppers that provide beta-carotene naturally, allowing your body to produce exactly the amount of vitamin A it needs without any risk of dangerous accumulation in your tissues over time. If you are currently taking a multivitamin or any other supplement containing performed vitamin A, checking the label carefully for the total amount in international units or micrograms and ensuring you are not exceeding the recommended daily allowance is absolutely crucial for protecting your cardiovascular system from this silent threat. The next vitamin on our list is one that doctors used to prescribe routinely for heart health before shocking research revealed its dangerous truth. Number 3. Vitamin B3 niacin. For decades, niacin was the absolute darling of cardiologists everywhere, prescribed in massive doses to raise good HDL cholesterol and lower dangerous LDL cholesterol in patients at risk for heart disease. But recent groundbreaking research has exposed a troubling reality that has caused many cardiac surgeons to completely reverse their recommendations for older patients. Niacin, also called nicotinic acid or vitamin B3, does indeed have powerful effects on cholesterol numbers when taken in therapeutic doses, often improving lab results dramatically within just a few weeks of starting supplementation. But the critical question that scientists finally answered after years of research is whether those improved numbers on paper actually translate to fewer heart attacks and strokes in real-life situations. The AIM High trial, a major study funded by the National Institutes of Health that cost millions of dollars and involved thousands of participants, had to be stopped early because researchers discovered that adding high-dose niacin to statin therapy provided absolutely no additional protection against cardiovascular events despite dramatically improving cholesterol profiles in the patients being studied. Even more concerning than the lack of benefit, the HPS-2 Thrive trial, involving over 25,000 patients from around the world, found that extended-release niacin supplementation was associated with a significantly increased risk of serious adverse events, including an unexpected uptick in cardiovascular complications that shocked researchers given the impressive cholesterol improvements they were documenting in laboratory tests. The problem with niacin goes far beyond its surprising failure to protect the heart because high-dose supplementation causes a cascade of metabolic disturbances that are particularly dangerous for older adults, including significant elevations in blood sugar that can trigger or worsen diabetes, substantial increases in uric acid that can cause extremely painful gout attacks, and most seriously, liver damage that can progress silently over months until it becomes severe and potentially irreversible. Dr. William Bowden, a respected cardiologist and lead researcher on several major niacin studies, has stated publicly that the era of using niacin as a cardiovascular therapy should be considered completely over, and that older adults taking high-dose niacin supplements are very likely doing more harm than good to their hearts, despite their good intentions. The safest approach for older adults is to obtain small amounts of niacin through dietary sources like chicken, tuna, turkey, peanuts, mushrooms, and fortified cereals, which provide adequate amounts for normal metabolic function without the dangerous side effects that come with high-dose supplementation in pill form. Now we arrive at a vitamin that was once thought to be a powerful heart protector, but has been revealed as a potential danger to cardiovascular health. Number 2. Vitamin E. The story of vitamin E and heart health is perhaps the most dramatic reversal in modern nutritional medicine, transforming from a supplement that millions of people took daily to protect their hearts into one that cardiac surgeons now seriously warn may actually accelerate heart failure in vulnerable older adults who take it regularly over extended periods. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that was once believed to prevent heart disease by neutralizing the free radicals that damage artery walls and contribute to dangerous plaque formation. And this theory made so much logical sense based on our understanding of cardiovascular disease that doctors routinely recommended supplementation even before rigorous clinical trials had actually confirmed its benefits in real patients. The SELECT trial, one of the largest and most well-designed vitamin E studies ever conducted involving tens of thousands of participants, followed over 35,000 men for years and made a discovery that absolutely shocked the medical establishment, finding that high-dose vitamin E supplementation was associated with a significant increase in prostate cancer risk and provided absolutely no cardiovascular protection whatsoever, despite the promising theory behind it. But the most alarming research specifically relevant to heart health came from a comprehensive meta-analysis published in the prestigious Annals of Internal Medicine that examined data from over 135,000 patients across 19 different clinical trials conducted around the world and found that high-dose vitamin E supplementation, typically defined as 400 international units or more per day, was associated with significantly increased all-cause mortality, with cardiovascular disease being a major contributor to those excess deaths. Dr. Edgar Miller, the lead author of this groundbreaking analysis from Johns Hopkins University, explained that high-dosed vitamin E appears to have what scientists call pro-oxidant effects at certain doses, meaning it actually promotes and accelerates the very oxidative damage it was supposed to prevent. And this harmful effect is particularly pronounced in older adults whose natural antioxidant defense systems are already compromised by the normal aging process. The HOPE-2 trial provided even more specific and concerning evidence by demonstrating that long-term vitamin E supplementation was associated with significantly increased heart failure risk, particularly in patients who already had cardiovascular disease or diabetes, suggesting that ironically the people most likely to take vitamin E supplements for heart protection were actually the ones most likely to be seriously harmed by taking it. For older adults who want to protect their hearts while still getting adequate vitamin E, focusing on dietary sources like almonds, sunflower seeds, hazelnuts, spinach, avocados, and olive oil provides all the antioxidant benefits of this important nutrient without the dangerous risks associated with concentrated supplementation in pill form. Everything we have discussed so far has been extremely serious, but the number one vitamin on this list is the one that cardiac surgeons are most urgently warning their patients about today. Number 1. Vitamin D. Vitamin D has become one of the most widely consumed supplements in the entire world, with older adults in particular taking massive doses in hopes of strengthening their bones, boosting their immune systems, and protecting against everything from cancer to dementia to heart disease. But what most people do not realize is that this seemingly harmless sunshine vitamin can trigger a deadly process that transforms flexible, healthy arteries into rigid calcium-encrusted tubes that can no longer function properly or deliver blood efficiently. The relationship between vitamin D and cardiovascular health follows a pattern that scientists call a U-shaped curve, where both too little and too much of this vitamin are associated with significantly increased heart disease risk. And the major problem is that the supplement industry has convinced millions of Americans that they are severely deficient when their levels might actually be perfectly adequate for good health and normal body function. A comprehensive study published in JAMA Cardiology examined data from over 30,000 patients across multiple research centers and discovered something that should deeply concern every older adult currently taking vitamin D supplements, finding that blood levels above 50 nanograms per milliliter were associated with significantly increased rates of arterial calcification, the same dangerous hardening of the arteries that leads directly to heart attacks and strokes without warning. The mechanism behind this cardiovascular damage is devastatingly straightforward to understand because vitamin D regulates calcium absorption in your intestines, and when vitamin D levels become excessive from oversupplementation, your body absorbs far more calcium from the food you eat than it can properly utilize, leading that excess calcium to deposit directly into your arterial walls rather than your bones where it actually belongs and where you want it to go. Dr. Aaron Mitros, a cardiologist and leading researcher at Johns Hopkins who has studied vitamin D and cardiovascular health extensively for many years, has found that the sweet spot for cardiovascular health appears to be blood levels between 20 and 40 nanograms per milliliter, and that levels above this optimal range provide absolutely no additional health benefit while potentially causing significant harm to the cardiovascular system over months and years of supplementation. What makes this situation particularly dangerous for older adults specifically is that aging kidneys become progressively less efficient at regulating vitamin D metabolism as we get older, meaning that the exact same supplement dose that might be perfectly safe for a healthy 40-year-old could easily push a 70-year-old into the danger zone where arterial calcification begins to accelerate. The Copenhagen City Heart Study, which followed over 10,000 participants for nearly 3 decades, making it one of the longest studies of its kind, found that both low and high vitamin D levels were associated with increased cardiovascular mortality. But surprisingly, the risk was actually greater at high levels than at low levels, completely contradicting the common belief promoted by supplement manufacturers that more vitamin D is always better for your health. If you are currently taking vitamin D supplements of any dose, the single most important step you can take right now to protect your heart is to ask your doctor for a simple blood test to check your actual vitamin D level, because supplementing blindly without knowing your baseline is essentially playing Russian roulette with your cardiovascular system and potentially your life. The best approach for most older adults combines moderate safe sun exposure when possible with dietary sources of vitamin D like fatty fish, including salmon and mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified foods like milk and cereals, reserving supplementation only for those with documented deficiency confirmed by blood tests, and using the lowest effective dose necessary to achieve optimal blood levels rather than the massive doses that supplement manufacturers promote and profit from. The research we have discussed today represents some of the most important findings in cardiovascular medicine over the past 2 decades, and yet the supplement industry continues to market these vitamins aggressively to older adults as if they were completely harmless substances with no potential for serious danger. The common thread connecting all five of these vitamins is that they can absolutely provide genuine health benefits when consumed in appropriate amounts from whole food sources or carefully dosed supplements under proper medical supervision, but they become genuinely dangerous when taken in the excessive quantities that have become normalized in our supplement-obsessed culture that often believes more is always better. Your heart has worked tirelessly for you every single day of your life without fail, beating over 100,000 times daily without complaint or rest, and it deserves far better than being unknowingly poisoned by well-intentioned but poorly informed supplement choices made without proper guidance. The takeaway from everything we have covered today is not that you should fear vitamins or avoid them entirely, but rather that you should approach supplementation with the same caution and medical supervision that you would give to any powerful substance that affects your cardiovascular system. Talk to your doctor openly about every supplement you take. Get your blood levels tested regularly to know exactly where you stand. Focus on obtaining nutrients from whole foods whenever possible. And always remember that when it comes to supplements and heart health, more is almost never better. If this video opened your eyes to information that could protect your heart and potentially save your life, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another video that could make a real difference in your health. Thanks for watching.